Marshall is out on with weather on the go, and I think it's safe to say we're looking down on you.
What better way to do it than with Drone Trak, because it is a beautiful night to be up in the air. This is our setup out here for Weather on the Go. We bring the big green wall with us, and we can set up almost anywhere. So this is why it becomes very, very fun to take Drone Trak out as well as the big green wall. Now, I want you to look up a little bit and look over here a little bit more toward the downtown skyline, because there's some interesting things happening up here in the sky. Do you see the different kinds of blue that are happening up here in the sky right now? This is because there are differing kinds of humidity out there. Some of this is actually some really, really thick cloud cover. Some of those high cirrus clouds that are thick enough to blot out the blue altogether. Of course, that's where you've got plenty of moisture. But in between, you can see where there's some open spaces, and some of that blue, some of it's really bright blue, and some of it's sort of a milky blue. It depends on where you have all the moisture. The less moisture you have, the more you're going to have that really bright blue sky. So on a clear day with high pressure in the area, and you see that severe clear where it's really super blue, it means that the humidity is fairly low, so you don't have a lot of the ice crystals getting in the way of that super blue. So a beautiful view tonight from Drone Trak, looking around in downtown Columbus. All right, let's talk about some color real quick, because a lot of central Ohio is still looking green out there right now. We will continue to see green conditions around most of the state for a little while, because the trees haven't really gotten on the idea yet that it's fall, but it's patchy around a lot of the region right now. We're going to try to get some of that cool night and warm day to try to get some of that sap moving. Right now across a lot of Ohio, you can actually see there's some clearing in the northern part of the state. And where you're going to see some cold temperatures tonight is where you're really going to find that clear air. 55 in Columbus right now. It's 55 up in Bucyrus as well. So another cool evening out there. When the wind gets going, it feels even chillier out there right now. Overnight, we're going to go for 40 degrees. So a cool night, but not as cold as it was last night. We'll also see a few clouds beginning to show up, because a front is going to move its way through here during the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. So as we go through the night tonight, some of this clears out and some of it becomes just partly cloudy. This particular model is actually showing some mostly clear skies to start the day, and then some clouds rolling into north central and northern Ohio as we go through the morning hours. That's the front coming through. As it goes by, northeastern Ohio does end up with that chance for a few showers, most of that coming right off of the lake. And then in the afternoon, Columbus is still going to be fairly sunny, but it's going to be a cool day. When you head out the door first thing in the morning, make sure you take a good jacket. We'll be down to around 40 degrees, then 55 by later on in the afternoon. That'll be our high for the day. You're going to see a mix of sun and clouds out there during a good chunk of the afternoon. Here's your extended forecast. Things actually end up being fairly chilly for a few days. Take a look at Saturday, and you see that rain coming in that turns into a little bit of rain-snow mix Saturday night. Sunday for the marathon, it's going to be a cold start here at North Bank Park with temperatures in the 30s. In the meantime, Drone Trak is having a grand old time flying over downtown Columbus. More from North Bank Park in just a few minutes.
Yeah, you're giving us some incredible views, Marshall. Thank you.
Oh, it's beautiful. Now, real quick, I want you to look up here. It's still there. Do you see that little teeny tiny rainbow that's just up there in the sky? That's a sundog. It just appeared a few minutes ago. There's just enough sunlight combined with the high, thin cirrus clouds refracting that light and creating a tiny rainbow. Now, if the conditions are right, you'll get them on both sides of the sun. And a few minutes ago, we had the one over here, and there was another one over there, but those clouds have thickened up and sort of blotted it out. So, okay, that one's gone now too. They don't last long. The other night, we saw some on either side of the sun. It was very, very cool. They're called sundogs, and the conditions have to be just right for it to happen, but we just saw a few here tonight. Now, this is going to be a fun night because we're going to spend a lot of time in the sky, because Drone Trak is here in North Bank Park tonight. And Ben and Mike are going to put it up in the air in just a few minutes. I cannot even begin to describe for you the amount of training that it took to do this. Everybody thinks, oh, it's just a drone, you put it up. They've had hours and hours and hours and hours of training, and they've got all kinds of flight experience to make this happen. It's a lot. So we're going to show what they do. They've already been through their checklist. So we're going to put Drone Trak up in just a few minutes and show you what's happening in downtown Columbus. We're going to keep our eyes out for those sun dogs again, just in case they come up. In the meantime, for your evening tonight, it's a little chilly out here. Temperatures are going to stay in the 50s for part of the night. Doesn't look great for frost overnight tonight, but we do have frost again in the forecast. We'll tell you more about that from North Bank Park in just a few minutes.
It's a nice day out there, Marshall, once we got that sunshine, but just like you said, a frosty start to the day.
Boy, it was cold out here. You know, when I first walked out, I thought maybe this is too much jacket. But boy, it feels pretty good right now. It's been real chilly this afternoon. When the wind kicks up, it gets even colder. Beautiful shot of the skyline from down here at North Bank Park. And you may notice we now have an empty landing pad for Drone Trak. It is up in the air and keeping an eye on downtown. There's just a little bit of color now showing up with some of the trees along the Scioto River. So check this out. There's Drone Trak flying down the river as we speak. It is really beautiful down here tonight. It's going to turn into a chilly night, but things should be very, very nice. You've got this mix of clouds and clear sky over the downtown skyline, but Drone Trak with, look at this view down here with the train trestle going by, making its way all the way down the Scioto River. This is Cosi and the and Vets Memorial over this direction, of course, and then you've got the rest of the downtown skyline across here. So a really beautiful night. But as I mentioned, we are seeing a little bit of color finally around the area. Some of that showing up here in downtown Columbus, but a lot of Ohio at this point still at least at just a little bit of peak up in northeastern Ohio, and also just a little bit of color around the rest of the area as well. All right, so my remote's not working. I'm going to ask our crew punch the button for me and show. There it is. So this is where we have a little bit of that color showing up in northeastern Ohio right now. Things are relatively patchy across the rest of the state, but we're beginning to see that color, and the frost that we had this morning should help get things moving a little bit. But it's going to be another cold night tonight, and there's a good chance for some frost several times through the next several nights here in Columbus. We're likely to get some of that several times between now and the weekend, with those temperatures getting down toward freezing. All right, take a look at where things are at the moment. You're going to find temperatures that are chilly. The clouds are beginning to break up a little bit. That's going to open up some clear sky and give us some cold temperatures, but not as cold as last night. Right now in downtown Columbus, temperatures are still in the 30s. Go ahead and punch that button again. There we go. Now we're at 55 degrees. It feels a little chillier than that. Punch it again and you're going to find temperatures around most of the state where it ends up being fairly chilly. 40 for the overnight low tonight with partly cloudy skies. These clouds will come and go just a little bit. You're going to have to punch that button multiple times now as we go through what's going to be futurecast for the night tonight. You see part of those clouds breaking up as we go through the night tonight, leaving us some open patches, and that's going to let some of the heat radiate away. But we'll also still have a little bit of that cloud blanket because there's a cold front that's going to stop in here tomorrow morning. It's going to come racing through, give us a few clouds for a little while, and then it'll move by again. But it's going to stay chilly at least for the next several days. We're going to be well below average, so you're still going to want that heavy winter coat tomorrow morning. 8 o'clock in the morning, temperatures are down close to 40 degrees again. By noon, we're back up into the 50s, and more sunshine will open up at that point. By 5 o'clock in the evening, then you're still in the mid-50s with that sunshine, and it's going to be a cold night tomorrow night. 42 by 11 o'clock in the evening. Daytime high tomorrow, 55 degrees, clouds to start with, and then some sunshine. It's going to be a little breezy tomorrow too. Winds gusting around 20 to 25 miles per hour, so be ready for that. And Thursday night lights, looks like a good night for it. It's Westerville Central and Westerville South. Temperatures are going to be in the 40s, but at least will be dry. Here's the rest of your extended forecast, and things stay chilly all the way through it. Temperatures in the 50s during the daytime, good for creating some color, and then you've got these overnight lows that are crisp and cold By the time we get to the weekend, though, that ends up being pretty chilly with some rain coming through Saturday night. We might even end up with a little bit of that rain-snow mix. We're going to see more from Drone Trak coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, can't wait to see that. Thank you, Marshall.
We've got Chief Meteorologist Marshall McPeak outside tonight, enjoying those fall temps, but as we saw, not a lot of fall color.
Yeah, it's still so green when you get up above with Drone Trak 6. And look at you in your big puffy coat.
And, you know, I put the big coat on because it feels pretty chilly out here with the sun going down. But you're right, it's still green across most of North Bank Park. There are a few trees that have a little bit of color right now. Take a look up above from Drone Trak. It's on its way over to Vets Memorial, crossing over the side of the river right now. Headed down the river and over the fields we go. There's a little bit of color there, but not really like what you would expect for this time of the year. As Rachel just mentioned, it's probably going to be another couple of weeks. And part of that has to do with how much warm weather we've had in the last few weeks. So there, oh, look at that great view of downtown Columbus and Veterans Memorial. That's brand new. If you haven't had a chance to go see it yet, it is a spectacular new space. And Drone Trak has one of the best views in the house of it. We've got some blue sky. We also have a little bit of cloud cover over downtown Columbus right now. A little bit of all of it, but definitely feeling like fall weather. All right, let's talk about your chances for some frost, because over the next few days, there is a chance you could see a little of that begin to move its way into the area. That cold air is coming again. So here in Columbus, several of the next few days could get us down to around 32 degrees or so with that chance for some frost. You don't want to leave the plants uncovered if you want to still hold on to those for the next few weeks. Anyway, it's 54 right now in downtown Columbus, but when that breeze gets going, boy, it feels a little chillier than that. That breeze right now out of the southwest at about 12 miles per hour, but when it switches out of the northwest for tomorrow, you're going to notice it because it's going to be a blustery day tomorrow. 40 overnight tonight. We're going to see some partly cloudy skies, and as we get toward morning, there is a cold front that will move in, and that's going to give us that chance for a few more clouds. So winter coat tomorrow morning. You're going to want the big puffy coat again because it's going to be chilly. 51 degrees by the time we get to noon. You may take off a layer by then, but it's only going to get to 55 in the afternoon. So still staying fairly chilly as we go through the rest of the day. That 55 with this gusty wind is going to feel a little chilly. So again, that big coat is what you're going to want. If you're going out to Thursday night lights, it's going to be a fairly nice night for it, but you will see temperatures in the 40s during the game. It's going to be in Westerville. You're going to find mostly clear sky as you head out to the game. Here's your extended forecast. Couple of things to make note. And Rachel mentioned this is good for the trees, right? Where we still have plenty of warm days. We'll call 50s warm for at least for now. It's a little below average, but we'll call it warm. The overnight lows are going to be close to freezing. So that combination should get some fall colors going. Saturday is one you're going to want to watch because Saturday we're going to end up with this chance for some rain, and by Saturday night some of this could become, we're going to use the S word, some of it could become some rain-snow mix, believe it or not. Most of that should be gone by the time we get into the daytime on Sunday. Your Sunday looking a little better at this point. And then Monday and Tuesday, just partly cloudy again with temperatures staying in the 50s. Take another look from Drone Trak. It's going to be a beautiful view of downtown Columbus with that skyline lighting up for the sunset. We're enjoying North Bank Park tonight. If you have a chance to get out and go for a walk, enjoy, but bundle up.
Righto, thank you, Marshall.